Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna start the next part of our color palette challenge, and we are on color palette number 2, and we're working in Mythographic, the Labyrinth version. So today, let me just flip to the page we're working on. So I did finish my homework, um, finally. I've been working on it slowly because I've been having a toothache. My tooth has been giving me some trouble off and on for the past week. So right now it is okay. So I'm going to jump in with the next part. And I am going to not be around towards the end of the month, the 19th through the 23rd. I won't be around. So I thought I would do, well, we would do the cube. And I actually want the cube to be gold. So in the Holbeins, I am grabbing some colors from here and some colors from here. So I'm going to grab the dandelion. I also grabbed marigold. And from this set, I grabbed burnt sienna and burnt umber. You can use the colors from any of the pencil sets that I have here. I did show this off at the beginning of part 1. So here we have it. You can also base it in marker if you don't want to do the whole thing in pencil. So per usual, I'm going to show you a little bit, and then we are going to assign the rest of it as homework. So let me zoom in here, and I want to start off with the part of the cube that's kind of deeper than the rest of the cube. So the parts that have these little dot parts are going to be just a bit darker and a little less yellow and more brown because they're a bit deeper. So I'm just going to show you really quick. I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is dandelion. And I'm going to just base it really quick. And you can go over the whole cube and just kind of base all of the areas that have the dots, or you can do it bit by bit. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. I will probably, once I'm done showing you guys a few bits, I will probably go over the whole thing and do the deeper part, and then come out and do the other part. So let me grab the second color, and following the dots, I'm just bringing this color up a bit, and I'm doing each section separately because each flat section is facing a different way, so I don't want to do it all together as if it's one piece, because it's not. So now I'm going into the browns, and I'm gonna bring this up quite a bit because we want this part to be less yellow, more brown. So I'm just bringing it up, and I'm gonna do the same to this piece. And you can just kind of gauge where you want yours to, if you want it to be more gold, maybe you want the whole cube to be a bit more gold. It's up to you. I am going with more brownish because I want it to look like it's coming up from somewhere deep. I'm not sure where. I'm not even sure how, maybe it's going towards the inner part, because remember, the inside of his collar, there's a door there, right there. So maybe that door kind of leads to the back part of the collar or something. So I'm just kind of blending it in. And this part can be worked on basically all month long. I would like to try and finish. I might do another part before I go. That way, when I come back, we don't have much to do, because once the cube is finished, we just have like the bowl and then like some little bits and pieces. So I might do one more part before I go, maybe the bowl, so that when I come back, it'll be mostly done and we just have the smaller bits to do, and then we can choose the next one. So you can see I'm bringing this golden color almost to the top. I don't want too much of that brighter yellow, because the deep part of the cube, I want it to be more brown. So now I'm coming in with this one and I'm going over the whole thing. You can even add some black in the bottom part just to make it more deep, but that's totally up to you on if that's what you want to do. So again, we'll do another piece. Just bring this one almost all the way up to the top. This is the marigold. This is the second color. Maybe I will zoom in just a bit more. So bring this color almost to the top. And then you come in with your browns. Yuki, quiet please. And again, however deep you want it to be, that's about how deep you want the brown to be. So the deeper you want it to be, the more brown you want it to be. It's going to be a big golden block. Cube, rather. It's more of a cube, I guess, like a cube maze. But the whole thing is going to be gold. All of the walls will be gold. And then coming in with the last color. Just like that. So let me bring it a little closer so you guys can see. You can see the gold. I apologize for Yuki. He's officially turned into a barker. He does not know how to be quiet when you tell him to. So, you know, we just kind of ignore him a little. All right. So now we're going to approach the flat outside layer, anything that's not diving deep down into the cube. So this part is going to be a bit more yellow. I haven't even actually figured out how I want to do this, but I am going to base it. And I think what I'm going to do is in the corners is probably where I will bring the color out. So maybe something like that. And you can kind of change it up. Each piece can be something different. I feel like any part that is touching something else probably needs to be shaded a little bit, because these are flat. So I think that's how I'm going to do it, is have the pieces that are connecting or touching another part of the wall or just a corner in general. So like how this wall is touching, so I'm going to bring that out, right? And then this wall is touching it, so I'm going to bring it out. And I like to make sure my pencil's kind of sharp, because it helps get into those smaller areas. or it helps create like a finer line to work with when you're bringing the color outward. That's just how I like to do it. You can probably do this with a blunt pencil as well. I'm just gonna create a little bit here. It doesn't have to be totally sharp. It's doable with a blunt one. I just don't like having to erase if I go over into the next area. That's just me. And then I'm gonna bring a little bit of this one here. I don't want too much of this one because I want this side of the block because it's not deep or anything. So I just wanted a little bit, just showing that, hey, there's a shadow here and it's touching something else, which is creating that shadow. I'm really trying to just show the process a little bit and not have the video so long, because for some reason my YouTube videos are taking a lifetime to upload. My last video, which was my weekly update, for some reason that took almost 2 days to upload, and I'm not sure why it took so long. I don't know if it's because of I added my intro. I'm thinking of taking the intro, or at least the music to the intro, off to see if that is why it took so long. And if it is, then I might just do my intro without music, or I might just talk through my intro, a little intro thing. I mean, it's just like a little snippet. It's not even long, so I'm not sure if that's even the real reason. But just in case, I won't add it to this. I won't add it to this one anyway because the other parts don't have it. So I don't want to add it midway. Maybe in the next one I will add it. And you can see my holbeins, they are a little crumbly. So I just take my brush them off, keep going. And then back to our lightest color here. And I might even leave a little space here and I might add some cream, or I might just use some white. Totally up to you which one you want to do. I might just go over this part really light and then just add white. Probably like a Prismacolor white. I also have my blender here, so whichever one you feel like would work. I'm gonna do white. So that's how I want the outside blocks to look. You see how this one is more yellow? I might even actually add some black. I think I put my black away. I have my light fast black, but I really don't want to add that. I think I'm gonna grab my Holbein black. We'll grab that. We'll grab the lamp black. I think this one's warmer. I can't remember if black or the lamp black is warmer. I can't remember which one is warmer, but we'll grab this one. And you can just come in down here at the bottom and just make it more dark. Or if you're using Prismacolors, you know, use your Prismacolor black or a really, really dark brown. I'm just doing this to this part. I'm not doing it on the other one, but just to this part. And just kind of play around with how dark you want it. You might not want it so dark. You might want it to look like the rest of the cube, but it's totally up to you. Just play around with it. This one is kind of like a freebie process because you can't really go wrong with the gold. It's either really gold or really brown gold. Up to you. But for me, I'd like this part to be a little bit more browned. So play around with the colors and see which one you like the best. I like for mine to be a little less golden, and then you can come in with that part. So the black actually makes it look a little bit deeper, so I'm going to add it to this one too. But you're basically going to do this for the whole cube. I think this is enough to keep you all busy for the week if you are following along. Remember, if you're following along, remember at the end to post in the Facebook group, or if you're going to post on Instagram, remember to tag me, because I am going to randomly choose a winner for a prize at the end, only for the people who finish and post and tag me in it. You have to follow the instructions. Don't just say you finished and can you be part of the giveaway, because my answer is going to be no. I need to see that you finished. So you can't just say you finished, you know, you need to show me that you finished. So, and then you can use white to blend this part in, or a blender. But so that is pretty much how that it looks. So this one is very dark, like it looks like almost you're going into a tunnel, and this one just looks like a gold bar. So any of the parts that are like flat are gonna look like a gold bar, and any of these parts that have the shading already there is gonna look like this tunnel here. So there's a couple of them. Like I said, I would, just so that you don't get confused, any part that has the little dots, I would base and do that first. That way, you know, okay, those parts need to be darker, so you can go over the whole cube and you can see, okay, this one has dots, this one has dots, so I know to base these over here. So any part that has the dots, you just want to base them with your lightest color. Go over the whole cube, make sure you're not missing anything. Some parts may be a little confusing, so just take your time. Go over the cube, make sure that you don't accidentally go over something that you're not trying to color right now. There is no rush. We are not rushing to do this. This is a learning process, so experiment, learn with your colors, mix the colors around. You can even take one of the darker browns and use that. You can use one of the lighter yellows that we picked out. You don't have to exactly follow the colors that I chose. If you feel like a color that I chose doesn't match with the color palette, and you feel like you found a better one or one that matches more, and that's the one you want to use, go for it. If you feel like, you know, hey, that yellow is too dark, that's not the right match, and you feel like, you know, I'm gonna use this one, that's okay too. Whatever, you know, everybody sees different, so you might see something one way, I might see it another way. There's nothing wrong with changing it up. So as long as you don't stray super far away from the color palette, because the point of this is the color palette, as long as you don't stray from the color palette's colors, you know, of course skin colors are fine, blacks is fine, grays are fine, but as long as you don't stray, you know, like you randomly add a purple in here and there's no purple in this palette, you know, or adding some hot orange color, or just, you know, colors that don't make sense, like just throwing in a random sky blue when there's no blue in this palette at all whatsoever. Don't stray too far from the palette, because that is the purpose of this. We are learning the color palette. We are learning to choose colors based on the color palette that we've picked out. So when I say experiment with colors, I mean experiment with the colors that are part of the color palette. Don't just go choosing whatever you'd like, because that's not the purpose of this. And thus, that is for the people that are following along and want to learn what the color palette is about. Now, if you're just coloring and you just want to choose your own colors, do know that that will not count as far as the giveaway. You must be following the color palette. So, if you are following along and there's a random color thrown in there that's not part of the color palette, it will not count for the giveaway. Just letting you know, because the purpose of this is it's a learning experience as well as having fun, but it is also a learning experience. I really want to learn to put colors together, because as far as a color palette, because I do draw my own pictures and stories and things, and I would like to learn how to properly color some of those things. So this is one way for me to learn how to do that, and it's, to me, the easiest way, because the color palettes are already picked out for you. You just need to pick the colors that match. And if you have the color companion, you don't have to really do that either. You can pick the colors that she chose and go from there. But as you can see, I based all of the parts that are gonna look like this little tunnel. So once you have all that based, you can see the other parts very clearly. So once you start coloring this in, and you know, I did do one bar just so you guys can know what the other part looks like. But once you color all your tunnel parts in, you can then move on to the next side so you don't get confused. And don't forget, down here at the bottom, there's also some parts as well that needs to be colored. So just kind of pay attention to where, you know, what you're coloring. Don't leave anything behind, because I did have to come in. I did miss some pieces in the sky, and I noticed it when I was finishing up my homework, and I was like, oh, I missed a piece of the sky, so I had to go back. And no one wants to go back, especially once you feel like, oh, I've completed that part's done, I don't have to worry about anything else, and then you find a part that you have to go back for. So just kind of be mindful, especially once you put your pencils away and then you have to bring them back out because you missed a piece. I don't know, I don't like doing that. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, so I'm just basing all of the tunnel area. And so once the cube is done, I'm really thinking about doing the bull next, or we can save him for last and do the other little tiny bits and pieces. I'm not 100% sure, but once the homework is finished, or I might, just for so you guys can have another part to look at while I'm gone, I might film the next part before my homework is done. So if you see it and my cube is not finished, most likely I filmed it before I finished my cube, just so you guys can have something to look at while I'm gone. I want to film a couple of videos to have so you guys can look at while I'm gone, because I will not be recording while I'm gone. So I will not have the time for it. I will be very busy hanging out with family and things like that. So hopefully I'm really thinking about doing the bull next. I just don't know, because I don't want any of the colors to smear into the bull before I'm finished, and I don't want the bull to smear into the cube. So I might not do the bull next, and I might do something down here or something of that nature. Not sure yet. I always say I might do this, and then the next video or the next part ends up being something else. because I did say that we were going to do probably the clouds or something this video. And as you can see, we're doing the cube. So, and I don't mind. This is the part I was kind of the most excited about. So, it is going to take a while though. I can see that already. Especially if you're doing it in pencil. I'm using Holbein, so it probably won't take that long because these blend very well. But if you're using something like the polys or, you know, a harder pencil, then it might take you a bit because you have to layer those. I chose the Holbeins because I like the colors that it was. It was kind of the closest to what I was looking for as far as the gold type I was looking for. So I went with the Holbeins. And I actually need to look into getting some replacements. My burnt umber is pretty short. My tan is very short. My marigold is getting very short. So I need to figure out some place to get replacements. I think I can get them from Blick online. They don't have them in the store, but I think I can get them online. So I might look into that. I'm really trying to wait until after my birthday though, just so that I don't accidentally get any duplicates of things because people do send me gifts. So I don't want to accidentally get any duplicates of anything. So I'm gonna zoom out so you guys can see the whole thing. As far as the tunnel parts, I believe has been based. I am gonna go over it again just to make sure that I didn't miss any pieces. But this is what it looked like once you based all of the tunnel parts. And then also, if you like, instead of doing the gold bar, you can even do, like if you have a gold gel pen or gold metallics or something like that, I might add in some metallic pieces. I'm thinking on the underside, maybe, but I'm not sure yet. We will see. Or I might do, you know, maybe just one side metallic so that it looks kind of cool. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm going to work on the tunnel parts. And then from there, I will see if I want to add any metallics. But there you have it. We did the tunnel darkest areas, and then we did a little bar, which would be all the areas that you see unshaded right now or unbased. You will use this. They will look kind of like this, much brighter. And then all the parts that you see that I based will be like this, more brown. So thanks for watching. The next time I film, I may or may not have my cube finished, but I will work on doing another part so you guys can have something to look at, hopefully while I'm gone. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Share the video to a friend if you're having fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye.